return of Sophie Cunningham's Bay.
The boys are back in town.
Yes, sir. Would you like to explain to the class why that is your name, Toph?
Literally, I went into my closet, saw the jersey. I don't think I've ever worn this. So I said, you know what? Let me change the name up. So nothing
was that
real, dramatic or anything at all. Just a spur of the moment thing.
Is that a Sophie jersey? I figured it was a Caitlin Clark jersey.
Nope.
Okay.
I got to see by to get the Indiana fever and the real best player on the team.
Hey, that's wild. Is that your celeb or your athlete crush?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I really got one.
You just her bae for tonight?
Just for tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
it's like that.
It's called Rent-A-Bay. You ever heard of it?
Rent-A-Bay.
Rent-A-Bay. Toph is Rent-A-Bay. For the right price, you can rent out Toph for the night.
Use code late entry, 15% off your first order.
Hey, we're making deals out here. We're making deals.
Oh man! Imagine.
Catch him on Cameo and OnlyFans and all the greatest.
It's your chance to shoot.
Toph came back. That might be the funniest thing. That might be the funniest one-off that you've ever had on this podcast.
That was so good.
I had to come with something for the live. I just thought that spur of the moment too, off the top of the dome. Boy, if that was real, boy, that'd make some money right there.
While we're talking about the WNBA, really quick, some news on them. They, after a long battle, which they've been talking about for a while, finally agreed to terms on a new CBA, collective bargaining agreement. So the salary cap used to be, I'm gonna compare these numbers to last year and to this year. Salary cap went from 1.5 million to 7 million. The Supermax going to 1.4 million, up from 249,000. The average salary will now be around 600,000, with the minimum salary surpassing 300,000, which was previously 66,000, which is crazy. They just went from, in 1 year, they went from making the same amount of money as your everyday employee to now actually having some, like, hey, we play professional sports and have some money in our pocket. Very, very happy for them. And not to be, a hater over here, but all these people that have been hating might want to go, thank you, Caitlin Clark, because there's been a lot of people putting in work over the years, and we shouldn't disrespect the work of like a Candace Parker and everyone that came before. But you see a certain person got there, and now they want to talk some different money changes. So once again, thank you, Caitlin Clark. It's not going to kill everybody to say that. Not y'all, but in general, like
everybody on the podcast at once. Let's say it now.
Yeah. But yeah, what up, Starly in the chat? Speaking of which, chat, I know I've had some issues, I guess, especially last episode that we did with my mic. So if I am fading out at all, please in the chat let me know so I can make some adjustments. But I've got it differently today. We're gonna see how that works. Before we head out of some basketball too, Toph, you were just talking to us about pre-show about the NBA expansion. You want to kind of fill in the viewers?
It's basically the last time NBA had an expansion was back in 2004 with the Charlotte. Actually, Charlotte Bobcats used to be. Now they're called the Charlotte Hornets. Like I said, it's been a long, long time. After years and years of NBA, the amount of talent that we see on every single team. It's kind of nice to get some new bloods in there. So it's pretty much all wrapped up. Not 100% fine, but it's looking like in 2028, the 2029 season, that will have our two new teams. Supposedly it's going to be Seattle. Not sure it's going to be the Supersonics. And I've heard the Las Vegas Villains.
Villains?
Yeah. I was just looking at
nasty.
a CBS article just a moment before we went live. I was kind of looking at like a projected mock draft. But really quick, kind of how it goes. Unless, they change up any rules from previously, each of the NBA teams can project up to 8 players. Like I said, you can only pick one person per team. So you can't take, if somebody takes somebody off the Thunder, now everybody on that team, they're off limits in there. So it's also a good time to be able to dump some salaries because if you got, a bad contract, you can just say, okay, I don't want to protect that person. If he gets picked and that new team gets that person's, contract, so it gets off the books in there. So you can see some old heads won't be all like, guys are just kind of buried on the bench in there. So it's a good way to kind of get off the bad contract. You don't got to make a trade. Say, hey, I'm not going to protect this guy. If he gets picked up, cool. I ain't got to deal with him anymore. Apparently, also, it's not a guarantee that like those two new teams will get like the number one overall pick, but they will get like a high pick in that draft. And the expansion draft usually happens before an NBA draft there. So I think it'll be really cool with as much talent as we kind of see in the NBA, getting new teams out there. Vegas, we're going to see the memes with that team. Bucks, the script is out there in Seattle. That's just really good sports town. You see, I think it's still the Seattle Mariners. Seahawks, they just won the championship in there. So I know Seattle, that's a sports town. So it's going to see some new teams, and I'd like the NFL to do the same thing.
Man, the Adam Silver it misses on some easy money for some viewership, in my opinion. First of all, if I'm doing an expansion, the two new expansion teams are getting picked 1 and 2. But the way I'm gonna get the viewership in, I'm gonna make the GM for each team come out and play rock paper scissors on national television. It's gonna be the highest stakes rock paper scissors game of your life, Buster. Second,
we got the personal trainer on the team coming out dabbing him with a towel.
I wish that they had that expansion this upcoming season because Pistons could go ahead and just be like, hey, we're not protecting anybody. Go ahead and take Tobias Harris. Get that contract out.
Yeah.
Taking strays again.
Unc always taking the strays on this podcast.
Hey, J. Cole probably needs to be playing his last season with us, but story for another time. All right. That's going to be it for NBA for right now. We do have... we're going to talk tonight about March Madness and Jaylen Waddle to the Broncos. That'll be a little bit later on. What the hell? I'm getting a phone call.
Ringing.
Apologies, y'all. How unprofessional.
We're in it, baby. Here they go.
Hey, Shannon Sharpe going to call me and start yelling at me very soon. All right. So we're going to talk about, those. We're going to talk about... some potential white people shit, top 3 fall offs across different industries. It's gonna be a fun episode. Starly in the chat said, "Thank you, Caitlin Clark." Every game is rigged for the bettors. Then, yeah, you got a team in Vegas. I just imagine it's gonna be nasty, greasy things happening over there.
Mm-hmm.
The players gonna be going to the casino.
Named them the villains. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna have players going to the casino, betting their own under at the casino right before the game.
Oh yeah.
Who's their mascot going to be? Dana White? Like, what's going on?
Oh man. Okay, so we just passed St. Patrick's Day. Did either of you guys do anything fun for St. Patrick's? Or we had the weekend and the day.
No, I don't do nothing for St. Patrick's Day, so it's just another day for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Guinness?
Never.
Never.
No, not at all. Really forgot even St. Patrick's Day. I went to work, business as usual.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, I just went and got the suit that picked out for the wedding, and then my brother and I shot over to Buffalo Wild Wings and had a couple drinks. Nothing too crazy, just some old man shit. Just drove home by 9 o'clock and was in bed before midnight. Yeah.
Hey, as the youngest person on this podcast, as the youngest person on this podcast, y'all make me scared for the future.
It's gonna be you soon.
Horrified.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want that to be me.
Hey, live it up now.
My St. Patrick's weekend looked a little bit different, man. I've got something from my St. Patrick's Day, which I will be using as my all through disrespect. But man, I remember a few years ago, I had St. Patrick's Day was on a Sunday, so I requested Sunday off of work, and everyone partied on Saturday. So I was like, well, I'll never do that again. So I've been making sure I get that Saturday off now. Figure out what day it is. Homies come up from Michigan, and we went to the bar crawl. It was dope, man. It's funny to like my idea of fun, at least for one Saturday every so often, is wake up stupid early, go to one of the bars, hit the buffet, and then just go from bar to bar in the freezing cold. It's snowing outside, waiting in lines to get into the bar so I can have some overpriced drinks, and it's fun. We're standing outside at one of these bars, and they got the little heat lamps out there. And my guy, they had someone cooking up sliders on a grill out there. $2 sliders outside. Like that's beautiful. That it was literally just a little burger patty, a pickle, some like burger sauce, like Thousand Island or something like that, and then a buttered brioche bun for $2.
That boy was literally cooking.
I had to kill about 100 of them. We were camped out right next to the grill. Just kept taking. Hey, go ahead and run me one of the. Yep, come on. That was my fun for a few hours, dog.
Oh yeah.
But these are the things that I look
when you
forward
find
to.
that when you're out partying, you find that one like cheap street food thing that's just like the ultimate nourishment. That is the best feeling, bro.
Bro, when they had food trucks out there too, and it was hella food trucks, and I'm like, do y'all not? You charging $10, $12 over here? Do you see $2 sliders over here? Maybe you should move down.
And
the street where
they busting over here,
bro. They're killing it. But yeah, it was fun. It was that. I've got the Citizen app on my phone. So aside from let me know that there is a sex offender living next to me every time I come home, it let me know that I'm at one bar while
what a transition.
Love Chicago.
Every day when I get home from work, I gotta get the notification. That's a sex offender within like 1,000 yards from you. I'm like, all right. I'm turning the top off from the Boondocks. My booty is mine. You can't have my booty. Yeah, man. Chicago. There's people out there fighting. I'm getting notifications while I'm outside at the bar that I'm waiting to get into. There's people squabbling inside. This video is going viral of people fighting out in the alleys and stuff. Chicago showed out for St. Patrick's Day, so. But I got home safe. That's all that matters to me.
There we go.
Made it back. But speaking of drinking, I got a question to ask y'all folks. How do you pronounce this?
Got to hold it a little closer there for the people in the back. That's
Monaco.
Monaco. Agreed completely.
So both of you say Monaco, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to the barber not too long ago. Went to the barbershop. Had to get, nice and crispy. My barber is my homie, so I pull up after hours to get my hair cut. And so I pulled up with a little 6-pack, you know what I mean? Came to kick it for a little bit. And there was one of the other barbers. Every barbershop got the funny guy, right? So dude want to tell some jokes, cracking some jokes. It's all fun and games. He's talking about how bad because I had called my dude a few times, like, hey, what kind of 6-pack you want? No response. So I'm very partial to Michelob Ultra. So I show up with some Michelob Ultras. Mr. Funny Man over there killing me. Oh, this is some piss water. Why would you bring this? Whatever. All right, fuck it. So I had to wind up deading that shit real quick. He's over here talking about me. I had to ask him, how come every time I'm in the barbershop, I see everybody's chairs full but yours? What's going on? I've never come in here one time and seen somebody in your chair. What's happening, brother?
Oh,
quiet now. No more jokes.
Even your barber like stopped cutting for a minute. He was like, "Oh shit!"
He said, "You ain't have to go there."
But so he's gonna go to make a run over to the liquor store now because we're out of the 6-pack. So he's trying to figure out what everyone wants. And I was like, I gotta take off in a little bit. This was the night that we did the football thing.
Okay.
Remember we had that? So I'm like, yep. So I was like, I can't stay here too late. Like, don't go over and get nothing crazy for me because I'm only gonna be here for like 40 more minutes. And so he was like, well, what if I get you a Monaco? And I was like, what the fuck is a Monaco? And I was like, I've never heard of that before. He was like, oh, it's like tequila, like a mixed drink or whatever. So we're talking like 5 more minutes goes by. He's trying to figure out what everyone else wants. And he's talking about someone other guys like, yeah, let me get a Monaco too. I'm sitting there, I'm like, motherfucker, do you mean a Monaco? I was like, wait a second. And there's all Mexicans in this barbershop. They're all looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. I'm like, I've never ever heard of a Monaco before. They were like, no, well, you're fucking saying it wrong. I was like, so that's why I had to come and ask y'all to make sure. I've been asking people all over the place what you call this thing, because I was thrown, dog. I literally had never heard of a Monaco before, and I thought they were talking about some other shit.
Look, I could be wrong, but is that where it originates? I almost called. Is that where Monaco originates? Is Mexico?
I don't.
Because
Shoot, have no
I don't
idea.
no clue. All right, fact check us, chat. But
Monaco
if it is,
Monaco,
they're probably saying it right, and we're probably saying it wrong.
hell no, bro. The first three things, real quick. Monaco is either a city or a country in Europe. And I had to, number two, I had to look this up on Google to have them pronounce it. And then the pronouncer was saying Monaco, and they were still telling me I was wrong. Three, it's funny we're talking about they're all Mexicans over there too, because the one guy was Mr. Funny Man again was over here talking about like, where am I from? I'm clearly not from here, right? He was like, you're not from here. You're not from here. I was like, it's funny you keep trying to tell me I'm not from here. I guarantee if La Migra pulls up, I'm the only one staying here. But who's not from here? Okay. Let's put that shit to the test. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad that you guys had never heard of a Monaco before, because I was quite confused.
Monaco.
What up, Dusty? We got Dusty in the chat.
What up, Dusty? What's good?
All right. I have before we get into these top three fall offs, I got one more of these type of questions to ask y'all. So I was listening to a podcast, shout out Thread Talks. It's two Canadians, and they read Reddit stories essentially, and then they break them down. But they have like at the end of their episodes, they usually do like life updates and like Q&A and stuff like that. Now, personally, I'm here for the Reddit stories. Typically, I'm not listening to these, but I happened to listen to this one, and they were talking about how one of their cats had to get a tooth removed, and so they removed it. So someone had messaged them and said, "Hey, something that I do, like as a little side hustle, I will like put that in gold if you want me to, and then turn it into an earring for you." So cat tooth, dipped in gold, sealed up, put on a little earring. My question is, would either of you do that? And is that some white people shit? Wearing your cat's tooth around as an earring?
Kyle, you want to go ahead and take the first crack at this one?
Neither one of you guys.
That's the white people right? Shit correspondent of the podcast. I would like to say that yes, this is most definitely white people shit. Or I mean, yeah. I can't picture, maybe like an Asian guy that grew up on the West Coast his whole life. Like I could see like him, like, who's like trying to make it as a musician. He's like, this is my cat Midnight's ear. He passed away, or my cat Midnight's tooth. He passed away 2 years ago. So I keep him in my ear 24/7.
Okay. Hey, Starly said yes to both of those things. He said, and Dusty said, I'm white and I don't condone that shit.
Hell no. We don't claim them, but we have no choice.
So, Kyle, you're not rocking the cat tooth earring? The gold cat tooth earring?
No. I mean, okay. I don't know. I like, this might even be, I don't know how far this is, but like, I've talked about like if we got the money, I'd want to clone Sherlock someday, because like I want him again. And Miranda's all about like, no, we're not doing that. We're not. But I don't know. I'm gonna steal a couple of hairs and then make it big on this podcast.
We did talk about that before because Brady has a cloned dog, and I was one of the people that said if I give him the chance, if I had the opportunity, I would clone him.
Clone Bella, yeah.
Toph, what about you? You wearing the cat tooth earring?
No. Now I'm a big jewelry person, watches, bracelets, chains, all that stuff. But that's taking it too far. That's definitely, I don't even want to say white person. That's just, you just gotta be a different breed of a person to do that.
Eccentric.
Borderline eccentric, not normal, however you want to dice it. I ain't never seen no black person. You know, if a black person, you know, if it's like a family member that passed away, they might get a little pendant, you know, opens up, a little locket. But come on, man, ain't no black person doing that. Let's stop
Hey,
with all this.
if you black and you wearing the cat tooth, you I don't know,
I gotta
man.
check
You might not be beating the hoodoo allegation.
You ain't come to no cookouts, no nothing. You ain't coming in the house.
So you don't think it would look good if I just replaced the little cross
hell
right here?
no.
Have a little
Hey,
cat
you
tooth
know what?
hanging off of it?
So funny.
If that's what you want to do, all the power to you. Told
Get it through the nose.
no.
Okay, so I was initially thinking, and walk with me on this. My initial thoughts were like, all right, this is kind of some crazy shit. This is maybe some white people shit. I don't know too many niggas gonna be rocking the cat tooth. But then I was thinking, okay, think about all the people that have sharp tooth necklaces. And that I have seen on all races before. So then I'm like, well, where's
If you've
the
been
line?
to Florida, you've worn a shark tooth necklace.
That's
just-
what I'm saying, dog.
Yeah. Or some little
So
shells.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So where is the line at? How can we say that a shark tooth is okay, but a cat tooth isn't?
I mean, that's a good point there.
These are the questions. And my initial reaction was just like yours.
I feel like it's just not
Alright.
normal. Like I said, like you said, hold up, wait a minute.
No, I'm going all the way the other way. I think it's normal. No, I'm kidding.
Let Toph cook. Let Toph cook.
Go ahead, Toe. Go ahead.
Now, like I said, there might be a certain demographic that's normal to on there. But like I said, other than you saying that there for the first time, that's the first time I heard something like that. You know, shark tooth, you could go by that, you know, especially if you live like, you know, down there, you know, in the coastal area. That's just a normal thing. You see that all the time. Like I've worn one that's a legit. But like I said, like a cat, you know, tooth, whatever the hell you want to put it, you know, never heard of that. So like I said, to a certain demographic, that's probably normal. But you know, the people that, you know, are in the more modern society, like, you know, in our area, that ain't normal. I can't go to my local Meijer, Walmart, wherever the heck they might sell that. That ain't there where we at. So that's all I gotta say.
I don't know, man. If that bitch is like, you know, 24 karat gold, I don't know. You gold anything out. Niggas might wear it. Niggas might wear it, dog. We got to go back and watch the Trinidad James music video for all gold everything. He had all the chains on. Need to inspect that for some teeth. Hey, because no, deadass, where does the line draw? Imagine you see someone walk in, gold chain, is teeth on the chain. Oh, what's on the chain? Yeah, these are my kids' baby teeth.
I mean, the craziest thing that I've known that someone wears is Megan Fox and MGK, they're not together anymore, but they had like each other's like blood around their neck.
Wild.
Yeah, like I said, that's
white
crazy.
People shit. Crazy white people shit right there. Megan Fox,
I'm rocking with MGK and all that, but that's crazy.
Motherfuckers is wild. Didn't they
I
have a ring?
I had
too,
a couple.
They had a ring where it was like it had spikes on the inside, so if they pull it off, it would like hurt them too, right?
Yep. Like I said, some crazy stuff. And they both, even though like MGK, he white, you know, he grew up in the hood, in the land, but at the bottom line, he's still white at the end of the day.
I could see MGK putting his cat's tooth like in his, like replacing one of his teeth before putting it, or like I could see
that.
When it comes to Kales, yeah, I'm not surprised, man.
Oh my god. Hey, that was hey, he may have been black back in like the time that he was rapping with Waka Flocka and them, but I have not seen any semblances. Have not seen any semblances of that man in a very long time.
You might get a rap song maybe once a year.
The wild boy has died. He's a father now.
Eminem put that.
He's a different wild boy now.
He did. Yeah,
Eminem put him to sleep for forever.
Yeah, he did. He made his brain do a factory reset.
Hey, Dusty said that's some serial killer shit.
Yeah.
Starly said, what if it was a panther tooth or a lion tooth or something?
Okay, that's actually a thing that I think people have done before too.
That's like way bigger as well too, I'd assume.
Yeah, they're huge. It's like they get the canine, they get the fang
big
out.
Yeah.
So it's Starly, you have 3 cats. Would you do this for any? If you had the moolah, would you do this for any of your cats?
See, I'm not even a cat person either, so I'm really not rolling.
No. You know, do you not like cats, or you just don't have cats?
Not even that. I mean, like my grandparents had like cats, aunts, and all that. Cousins, they were cool, but to me, like a dog. Like, so you know what a dog's thinking like all the time. A cat,
Mhm.
they some cold-blooded killers, man.
Mm.
You see, they got the crazy cats from hell TV show. I said, hell no, I'm not going with that.
That was
If
enough
a
for
dog want to kill me, I'ma know. Ain't gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
no surprise.
Yep.
yeah.
You
They're
should
gonna
I
have
can
tell
been
you.
clearly tell his intentions. The cats, I don't know. You could be gone for 4 years. That cat look at you like, like it's just another day. A dog, you could go outside, go get the mail, come back in. They jumping on you. Like you've
Oh
been
yeah.
gone forever.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
dogs love you way more, bro. And
Yeah.
cats, I believe that like cats are at most like 40%, or I'm sorry, at least 40% asshole. Like even the most
Yeah.
loving cats, like Lexi's cat Augie, one of the sweetest, most loving cats in the world. Other day I was sleeping, she was sleeping by my foot. I got woken up at like 4 a.m. Bro, I thought I got stung by a bee. She clawed me so hard, I had trouble going back to sleep. My foot was throbbing. I woke up the next day, my shit was swollen. Bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, fuck cats. But
Yo, they can hear you. Your apartment ain't
know,
that big.
I'm looking at Augie right
I'm
now.
good
Telling her
over
fuck
here.
her while she's sleeping. She looking cute as hell. Fuck you, Augie.
Yeah, you going to sleep with one eye open tonight now. You done dug your own grave.
Nah, I don't have to worry about it from Augie. Lexi's mad at me now. I told her, cat, fuck you. I'm about to get punched as soon as this podcast ends.
About to be a 2v1.
Yeah, but Royal Rumble.
Fight back, fight back.
They got 10 lives. I don't like your odds
That was
right now.
my first question of the week. Who would win in a fight, Lexi and the cat versus Spencer?
I'm fighting for my life, dog. You ain't want to see me.
Hey, 100 cats
Everybody
versus a
in this-
gorilla.
Everybody.
hey, they got a better chance than us, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in this
Oh, that's
house
funny.
lives because I choose not to have violence. Don't forget that.
Plus every cat got
ain't
9
doing
lives.
nothing to
Oh
me.
yeah. That gorilla's cooked, boy.
They don't want to
Cooked.
see me, dog. It's gonna look like fucking 4 of them versus the gorilla in this motherfucking house.
Yo,
I wanna get out of
What kind of a flex is that?
You asked. You said who would win the
I didn't
fight?
ask anything.
You
I was
said, "Who would win the
joking.
fight?" You
I
said,
get-
hey, you brought it up. Asked, answered, sir. Hey, while we're on the topic of animals, Toph, I don't know if you still have this dog, but can you tell Kyle and the chat about your dog's eating routine?
Oh well, both of them are actually passed away now. So
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Theodore and Maxwell, they are gone. Like Maxwell, he was the OG. We got him like when I was like super young. I was in like 6th grade. So he passed away probably 3 years ago ish, I want to say. Both designer dogs, really expensive. But like he's just like super picky. He gotta eat like on the table. Like he knows exactly like they always use shit, what is that? I forgot what brand it is in there. But he's just like super picky. And I'm a picky eater as well too. So honestly, we both got that bougie as hell. Then
Smells like
Theodore, the
Shannon
bigger
Sharpe
one.
over here.
Yeah, you literally can't, because if you put it on the ground, he gonna eat his food, and then he gonna debo him and eat Maxwell's food. So you literally got to put like one up on the table, one on the floor, or put him in the cage because it's just gonna be cooked. And then you gotta put a little bit of seasoning on there as well too, because he'll know if it ain't on there. You gotta put some Chex Mix in there. You gotta put some little extra in
Chex
there.
Mix?
He got a chaser for his food.
I was gonna say I thought I remembered there being some Captain Crunch involved. That's what I came into.
Yeah,
the story
I've done that as
thinking.
well too. But I was like,
Yeah,
Chex Mix.
so
I mean, I've had
good.
to change it up as well too at times because they get tired of it.
So
You
you
gotta
had
come up
to
with a whole new mix.
like grind it up in your hands
Yeah.
and sprinkle it on there.
Yep. Couldn't be
Okay.
too
So-
big, It was
They,
a whole
they
method. to
literally
this.
sell dustings now. We just started buying it because we have the same issue. And so they're like, if your dog starts getting sick, you just sprinkle a little bit on there every now and again. It changes up the flavor profile a little bit for him. It's by the same brand that we buy his like actual food from too. So we're like, yeah. But that is
It
so
was a
picky,
whole
bro.
little deal, man.
You were out there,
Hey,
yeah. You
look,
had your chef
it
hat
was-
on.
It
You're like,
was
yes,
like
sir.
an hour.
Y'all are so much like nicer than me, and same with Lex too. Because I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. As Toph and his situation with the dogs, while I'm please do not get me wrong. I am not hating. Whatever you do in your house is up to you, and I have no say in that. But I remember I heard that, and I remember Bella didn't want to eat shit, and Lex was buying toppers, and she was mixing like little bits of like bone broth and stuff in it, trying to make Bella eat the food. And I was not going for any of that because then she's gonna learn to expect it, and I will be damned if I'm waking up grinding up Chex Mix on my dog's shit. I said, "Here's the bowl of food. You gonna eat when you get hungry." No, put this bowl of food right here. When you get hungry enough, you gonna eat the fucking food. And I guess we gonna have a blinking contest because I will lose no sleep. That bowl of food to sit here for 2 days, but you gonna get hungry eventually. You eat this dry ass.
You're right. You're right because it's similar to like when you're raising a child and you just keep giving in on whatever they want to eat, Eventually, you're buying McDonald's 4 nights a week. You know.
I wasn't do that.
I totally
for a dog.
Yeah. Just for the kids, not for the dog.
For my dog than my fucking cats. Hell no, nobody. The only person gets to be picky in this motherfucking house is Lex.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's fair.
That's it. Everybody else gonna eat what the fuck is put in front of them. Starly said this whole house is lucky I ain't violent. He says in a threatening manner. Right? Fuck yo.
Yo.
We figure out how to digitize myself. I'm gonna go in the chat and fuck them up too. But on to the top 3 fall-offs. So once we get to, we're gonna go Kyle, Toph, and then me. And then once we get to me, we'll kind of explain why this topic came up. But essentially, the question is, across any industry that you choose from, your top 3 fall-off celebrities, I guess. Kyle, what you got for us?
So I had this one, and then Miranda reminded me that he's actually making a comeback because they're rebooting one of the shows he was in. But I still want to talk about him because the fall off for so long was real, and we don't know if this new show is going to work. Frankie Muniz, actor from when we were kids, was in literally everything. Was like, he showed me that a short, skinny guy could get the girl at like 10 years old. So
is that original Spy Kids?
No, he wasn't in Spy Kids. It was like Liar, or not.
He was like
Big Fat Liar, and he was in the you're right.
Something.
He had like the CIA, Kid CIA or something like that. It was close to like a Spy Kids like thing. But yeah, he was literally in everything at like on Nickelodeon or Disney, everywhere you turn. You know, anytime you go to a friend's house and they got TV playing in the background, you're going to see his face. Then he had Malcolm in the Middle, which is like probably one of the best like sitcoms for kids at that time. And then just never did anything. He was performing at the same place I was performing the night after me at this like small venue in Romeo when I was like in a band with my brother in high school. And we went and there was like 45 people there. And I mean, he like big timed it. He came in, did the show, got out, but like it wasn't, so to go from international star to that was a huge fall off to me.
You see that little casual flex that college dropped on there? Like, yeah, I was out there performing same places.
Hey,
famous.
I ain't mad at it.
Hey, I'm saying that's how far he fell because we weren't doing shit.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I'm with you.
Next up, it's a quick rise and a very quick fall. As quick as he rose, he fell just as fast. Okay. Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin is next up on my end. He had a hell of a 15 games, and then was basically never to be heard from again. I mean, I didn't look up the metrics on this. I meant to before we got on here, but those jerseys I was seeing in school was like insane. And those probably got burned or given away within 6 months. So yeah, that's pick number 2. Third,
I gotta give you some. Hold on, I gotta give you some credit for that one because you picked somebody that literally, bro. Well, the name you picked someone. We're talking about fall offs. A Linsanity run is a thing. Like you can apply that to anything.
Yeah, like true. We still talk about a Linsanity. Yeah.
Yes.
He's like the
Like,
one hit
he's like the
wonder of
poster boy
one hit
for it.
wonders in basketball. Yes.
Yes. That's a great pick.
Thank you.
What you got for number 3?
Last up, so I couldn't decide between these two because they happened back to back and they both happened so quickly, but they both happened to my team, so I feel like I have the right to talk about both of them. Jahvid Best and Kerryon Johnson, running backs from the Detroit Lions. They gave all of Detroit so much hope, each for like 2-3 years, that we finally found our next Barry Sanders.
Shout out 44.
Both 44. Jahvid Best was the first one I thought of, and I was like, man, Kerryon was tough too. He was fast, and then it's just like I don't even remember what happened to him. Like I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
I remember I heard something like they were both injuries of sorts, but I both just equally disappointing. Not necessarily because they let us down, but just that injury just kept them short of giving Detroit kind of that next running back to root for. We got Jahmyr Gibbs now, so everything's good. But those were some sad years.
That's another good pick too, and that's just a quick callback too. If you didn't watch our part 1 and part 2 of our all you need to know about the football offseason moves, you should go back and watch that. We hit a lot of good information, but we talked about that too with Gustav asked, like, when they drafted Gibbs, were you guys excited? And I was like, Kerryon Johnson to DeAndre Swift out of there to Gibbs. I thought we were just repeating this stuff. So, no, that was a very good pick. Those are all 3 good picks. I can't say I don't think I ever watched anything with Frankie Muniz in it, to be honest with you. But the other 2
before your time.
Hell yeah. I've seen clips of like Kyle's 1 year older than me.
But I was watching shit. I have an older brother. I have an older
soul though, so.
And I'm an old soul. There we go. Thanks, Toph.
Fair enough. All right, Toph, what you got for us?
Okay, so your boy might have missed, I didn't know that we could go the different kind of universes and whatnot. So I kept it just in sports journalism because kind of like where the brux of the idea came from. So it's kind of where my mind clicked. I couldn't get out of that realm in there. I couldn't really find a good third one because I was really trying to find, just the biggest possible fall off from sports media, sports journalism. So I'm gonna say my honorable mention, aka my third. We've talked about this guy ad nauseum in the podcast. Double Doses, one of his all-time favorite athletes. I gotta go with RG3 at number 1.
Yeah, fuck RG3.
That is a great pick. Sorry,
he had the rise and fall of his, actual playing career. Came on the scene at Baylor. We're gonna get into some other stuff, his Baylor times a little bit later on. Not going to tell you guys what the idea is now, but just know we worked on some things going in the future. But yeah, RG3, especially just when he was at ESPN on the College Game Day crew, he was exciting. He was kind of like the black version of Pat McAfee with all his antics and things like that. I was a fan of him as a player. I liked him, his insight on College Game Day as well too. Now some of his rants, things that kind of give him trouble. The croissant, I can't get down with all that.
I forgot about that one.
Holy, croissant shit was crazy.
We talked about that on the pod, didn't we? Oh my God.
Yes. Croissant was crazy, dog.
But yeah, he not to like the other degrees, these other 2 guys in there, but I did feel like he had some motion going on. Then all kind of coming downhill like really fast. And now you could say he's one of the most hated sports journalism kind of person. I feel like everybody has had something with him. The second one, you could say quick, he's
real quick, just off you talking about. First of all, given how fast his NFL career and his commentating career burned out, we could go retire RG3. That man is Robert Linsanity II. But second, you said he's one of the most hated. Just out of curiosity, who do you think is a more hated talking head, RG3 or Acho?
Probably RG3. Just because he said, like, with the whole Angel Reese thing, like, you didn't get down to like some really, controversial things. Acho, he could just be annoying, but RG3 says some things, that hurt somebody cut pretty deep. So I'd have to give RG3 the 9. They got different kind of, things, but it's hard to miss past the Angel Reese. Everybody's prominent names have said things about him. I think when you got that kind of, animosity towards it, he has to be the most hated.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Really quick disclaimer: that is not Double Dose's favorite. Just had to put the little jab in there. Just want to clear that up right now.
I do not fuck with RG3.
But for anybody who didn't see it, those first couple of years before his first knee injury, was it 2 years before his knee injury? Oh,
I mean, his rookie year, really. So
was it just his
really
rookie year? Yeah,
because he played the Seahawks and they got him.
Oh man!
And after that, it was just never the same.
It looked amazing. I thought he was going to be the next thing.
And it did. That might be the next JD5. Not wishing on it, but
stop that! Stop!
Anyway, number 2. I'm gonna save this guy for last. Number 2, this guy's been around Lily forever. You can kind of say him and LeBron James might be tied at the hip, but we got to go Skip Bayless at number 2.
I knew you were going to say that.
I got to do it, and I know he's, and I love their podcast, one of my all-time favorites. So he's crazy saying all the time they really just got started. But with the arena, Gilbert Arenas, and they got 2 different crews in there, it's just not the same. Ever since him and Stephen A. Smith kind of like part, it's just like Skip Bayless isn't the same. Those 2 were probably the GOATs. I don't think anybody was better than those 2. Their chemistry, was just legendary, untouched. But ever since, him and Shannon, they were really close. And then that fell off in there. But I feel like, the Skip Bayless that we, know, if way back in the day, it'll never be the same. So like I said, it's definitely a fall off in there.
Hey, look, I know you're going to disagree with me on one of mine, which is the crux of this whole topic, but I got to throw my challenge flag on that, dog.
Okay.
We're talking about the guy. How can you say that he's the fall off when he's had such an illustrious career and he still can't be without a job? Like, you know what I mean? Even though that you could argue that the job that he has right now is beneath him, it's like he's regarded as the godfather of debate. He was on TV for like 20 years. He had a whole Hall of Fame career with Stephen A., a second Hall of Fame career with Shannon, and then he was like, hey, fuck it, I'll just do my own podcast. And then here comes Gil going, hey, I need you over here. Now, yes, granted, Gil's Arena is not, on ESPN or Fox Sports, but for how long he's been at it, there had to be a decline eventually.
I mean, yes, there'd be a decline, but it was just the magnitudes of the shows. And I watch almost every single sports podcast there is. So I'm well versed in different podcasts, the hosts, the vibe of the show. Nothing comes close to what, the magic they had with him and Stephen A. Smith. You could say Shannon Sharpe is the one that carried that show. Because as soon as he left, he brought on a wide variety of different cast members. Oh, and the majority of us hated it. So like I said, when it comes to fall offs, I'm comparing. Of course, you're never going to reach the Stephen A. Smith one, but even the Shannon Sharpe one in there, like our podcast on that, we all got our different kind of takes, different energies, but we all come with as a group in there. But they never once captivated me as a viewer, and I'm speaking for myself. I can speak for anybody else in there, but I'm pretty sure the same people like me can definitely tell that fall off from what he was at before could never reach that. It doesn't matter if he had Richard Sherman, Paul Pierce, Michael Irvin, it just wasn't the same. And then for him, like I said, definitely beneath him, I just feel like, one, that's not his show. He has his own podcast. It was extremely boring. I've watched a couple of times. I couldn't do it just because I feel like Skip Bayless as a person, he's always going to talk about the Cowboys. He's going to talk about LeBron. I can't do it anymore. We've been doing it for so long. We've done that same dance. Like anytime I hear that debate, I usually just kind of zone out because I already know what he's going to say. The same old things over and over. So when I say fall off, it's just like, I feel like he doesn't have any new tricks. You know what I mean? Like when I say that.
I hear you there.
You convinced me. I changed my mind, actually.
There we go.
I agree. Especially because, once Shannon left, he hit a fucking wall, and it was like, just straight down from there. Like you said, it was all, same tricks. That shit with Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson was disgusting. I did not ever want to listen to that.
That's terrible.
I tried, but it was some nasty work.
But I think he definitely the Stephen from how highly regarded it was in the Stephen A. days, and like how it's like you don't know the good days until they're over, right? When he was with Stephen A. Like, because I would hate watch them, but not like I would hate watch Skip in a sense usually, but like they both are very polarizing with their takes. So it's like, you're like, you vehemently disagree with certain shit they're saying. But yeah, you're like, especially that Cowboys point, that was Skip as like the last year of Shannon and then beyond. It was just all Cowboys glazing, all Cowboys love,
Tom Brady
all the time. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. Yeah, just
like when those topics came, I said, okay, yeah, I'll skip this one. I'll come back for the next
Yeah.
segment.
He was a person that very much needs a very exciting co-host.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like I said, he has this energy. You needed like, you could say a Batman or Robin, a partner. You had to have the different kind of, personality types to match with his.
Agreed. All right, number 3 for your Toph.
Number 3. This one hurts, man. This is probably what got me into just like, podcasts in general. Was you guys remember I Am Athlete and Brandon Marshall? I feel like, because he was like one of the first, because this was like when the pandemic happens. It was him, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder was in there, Ocha was in there a little bit as well too, but he was like the first, one of the first. He might not have been the first, but one that I really, noticed that took off. And his podcast was amazing. He talked about real life. They talked about ball, and it was always entertaining. You had, probably some of the best guests I've ever seen. The one with Prime, one of the all-time podcasts I've ever seen. But yeah, that was like my go-to podcast back then. I had to watch every single episode. But just Brandon Marshall, his career, if anybody's ever seen Brandon Marshall, borderline kind of crazy. He had the personality, all kind of stuff. But like I said, he was definitely like one of my first podcasters. And now I think it's still a thing, but it's not, ever since, he left, Fred Taylor, Ryan Clark, then the pivot came. So it's kind of like, you go out, other two still in there, bring Ryan Clark, and they still got that same magic. So Brandon Marshall, he was one of my favorite players too. He's got to go. He's my third one. This is a crazy fall off.
I've watched some clips of him, but I never really was tuned in like that. But I've definitely seen those clips dry up. So forced to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, that was a very early on plug by multiple different sports podcasts and big ones by other former players, and you never hear them. And B. Marsh was on so many podcasts during that COVID time, and he totally did just kind of fall off. I agree. It's kind of funny. You chose sports players, but you didn't really choose necessarily all their sports careers. I guess Skip in a sports player. He didn't do much past high school.
Wish he was.
Yeah.
Water Pistol Pete Jr.
Yeah. But yeah, you pick sports topics, but yeah, like that was very you said, oh yeah, I'm the sports guy, but like that was real. That was like showed you ain't just. I'm basically saying,
no.
Like, the viral topics and shit too. Give yourself more credit for sure. The viral topics and shit too.
Maybe because you guys bring them in, I might have, but I'm not out there just scrolling trying to find the Delco person.
But
y'all definitely more tapped in than me.
Fair.
It might come across my timeline, but
for sure.
Hey man,
very rarely.
This was not on my list. This was not prepared for, but I gotta slide a little late.
He pulled a 12 strong arm
for a new fall off, man. And I was getting on Kyle's ass about this a few days ago, and I'm so happy I get to do this live right now. Biggest fall off I've ever seen is once again your boy getting hit with the double teams, pissing down his leg. We are in the third quarter, and Kevin Durant is at 2 points going against the Lakers. 2 points. Man out there getting cardio. Every time I send a double at him, his brain freaking fries.
Man, he ain't running. Shut up.
He's getting old, man.
I think he had a total of 2 points the entire second half of when they played 2 days ago. It's been bad. Oh, KD hit a 3. Holy shit, he's at 5 points. Let's go.
Just when you talk about him, the boogeyman gonna come and get you, dog.
Hell nah.
Also, LeBron James, 100%.
Yeah.
8 for 8, 2 for 2 at the strike. He ain't shot a free throw.
18 points.
18 points in 18 minutes.
That's how you don't fall off. That's how the GOAT keeps being the GOAT.
So we're not gonna talk about DeAndre Ayton? 6 for 8?
Nah. We ain't gotta talk about DeAndre Ayton tonight.
2 blocks? Come on now.
Hey, look.
Dominating.
Let me give y'all my honorable mention before I get going. I wanted to wait to make sure no one said it. The fall off of the baby and Tory Lanez. Honorable mentions. The baby has such a high rise and crushed it, just blew it all up. And now no one knows where the baby is anymore. Tory Lanez during COVID had the world in his palm with his lives. He has some really good music, and he fucked it all up because allegedly he shot Meg in the foot. I'm only saying allegedly because I wasn't there, but the man probably did that.
Really quick.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. He said Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
I knew about Tory Lanez before he even went mainstream. I remember I'm in elementary school. No. 9th grade. Freshman in high school. I remember I was on hot new hip hop every day. This man had a new song every single day. So yeah, Tory Lanez, he was one of my all-time favorites before, he got to the mainstream and everything. I was listening to that man back in the trenches. So shout out to Tory Lanez. But yeah, that fall off, oof, that's brutal. That's a good
bro.
His music hit for a minute there for sure.
The short
2016 was, I think, when I came on with him. That I Told You album, fire. And then you fucked it all up, Tory.
Damn, but 09. Sheesh.
This is basically how golly.
Yeah, I know. It's like 09, 2010.
09, holy
09,
shit.
2010. Holy shit.
Hey,
he was trying to be with the Stallion, dude. Jeez.
Hey, speaking of people who fell off around 2016, anybody heard from Bryson Tiller?
Hey, I still got some Bryson Tiller on my Spotify, but not as much as I used to. Yeah, I actually do have a new song by. Oh, I have to look it up, but it was actually pretty fire.
I was gonna say Bryson Tiller, Fetty Wap, Tory Lanez, the baby, Ghosted, all of them.
I'm pretty sure Fetty Wap lost his other eye and got lost, but I don't know. That might just be a rumor.
That's crazy.
Oh, Bryson Tiller and Flatboy Max got a song. WYD.
That is such a stupid fuck. This is how I know I'm getting old, nigga. Your name is after the shit on teeth. You go to the dentist. They like, sir, you need to.
Hold on.
Make sure you don't have plaque on your teeth. This nigga said, my name is Blackboy Max, and I'm a bacteria.
We are not gonna have no kind of Blackboy Max slander here today. Now, I ain't gonna stand for it.
It's crazy that the youngest guy on the podcast is arguing with the oldest guy on the podcast about the young nigga music.
I got a lot of Blackboy Max on my Spotify now.
Hey, when you put your shuffle on, you get Blackboy Max, then you get Cavity Brian. Then Gout Gary comes pulling up.
Shout out Blackboy Max, man.
All right, so this
he can spit. He can spit. That's for sure.
I wouldn't know. Nigga named Blackboy is never getting listened to by
me.
See, I will die on the hill of niggas need to be
Grammy nominated. Come on now.
The names that they choose, dog, like 6 Lack. You are not black, nigga. You chose to write fucking 6 Lack on that paper and submit it for your homework, nigga. You're 6 Lack forever. That's Blackboy Max.
Listen,
look.
At least his name ain't Lil Blackboy Max. At least he didn't put the Lil in there like everybody else wants to do.
True.
I'd rather you fucking have a Lil Plaque than be Blackboy.
But your team.
It's a Lil Plaque.
That's funny.
All right. So this is how this whole topic came up. I'm on Twitter the other day or Instagram, one of the two, and it's come across a video of basically Shannon Sharpe once again just terrorizing Ocho for the fact that Ocho was been asking to go to a Hawks game for forever, wanted Joe Johnson to take him. It is Joe Johnson, right?
Yeah. ISO.
Okay.
Joe.
Yep, I thought so. I'm just making sure.
All of Fame nominated. Put some respect on him there.
I'm not tapped into Nightcap like that anymore, which is the point of this.
Hold on, wait. Have you seen ISO Joe dribble a basketball?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey.
ISO Joe was
he didn't say Steve Nash, so I had to make sure that they played together back in Phoenix. So,
but ISO Joe was on. Was it the Jazz? Was he on the Jazz in like 2015, 2016?
That was like the end of his career. He was cooking.
That's when I was watching him. That's when I was watching him. sitting on a balcony.
He was even nicer back
at
then.
night on my phone watching him put up a crazy performance. I think it was 2016. I don't remember who he was playing against, but I was like, oh, this is that nigga ISO Joe. Okay.
Yeah, ISO will get buckets, boy.
Yes,
mid-range killer.
Yep, absolutely.
Paul Pierce, he'll let you know.
All right. So I'm watching Tara Ocho up about the fact that basically Ocho's kid had for something came up and had to move their birthday party. The only day it made sense to do it was on the day that he was going to go to this. So Ocho had to cancel after ISO Joe had figured this all out. And Shannon was ripping him and saying it was unprofessional and how you didn't do this and this and this. And I think at the end of it, it ended with like the fact that maybe Shannon was trolling the whole time. But I'm just thinking like, bro, you used to be on Undisputed with the goat mask and, you know, the fucking Miles with the yak. They turned that shit into a song. You were on First Take, Legs and Five.
In there.
You know, everywhere he went, the man was just straight up just dropping new memes. Like he was a real cultural icon. And I personally was tuned in to see Undisputed and First Take because of Shannon Sharpe. And here we are now. You got an old, grown-out, gray, scraggly-ass beard harassing Ocho about missing a basketball game because of a motherfucking kid's birthday party. That's what it's come to on Nightcap, a show where just two old, horny men joke about fucking bitches 40 years ago. Not on any national television. No show. Nobody wants your ass. You're lucky to have the sponsors that you still got, which is Rose Sparks, because that's all you still doing is fucking. The career ain't going the way that you thought it was going to. As Shannon Sharpe is one of my favorite, at his peak, one of my favorite sports commentators, talking heads of all time. If it was no Shannon Sharpe, there may never have been a late entry. So this really hurts me to come out here and say. But how the mighty have fallen, dog. And so I had sent a text to you guys and said the only two people I can think of that have fallen off as quickly from as high on the mountaintop as they were was Drake and Kanye. So those are my three.
Shannon Sharpe, Drake, and Kanye. Yeah, yep. I mean, from the mountaintop Drake was on. Both of those musical artists from the mountaintop they were on to where they are now. Absolutely. People still be listening to their music like crazy, of course. Like they're still going to be getting insane downloads, but those are two huge fall offs. Shannon, to me, I didn't know that happened, I guess, on that episode. Shout out ISO Joe. Sorry you had to sit through all that, I guess. But
he wasn't there.
He wasn't on it.
Oh, he wasn't on that. Oh, okay. I thought
he was at the game. On that.
Oh, okay. Oh, he was at the game. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up here.
It's all good.
It's white people shit, you know. I do agree. He was everywhere. He was. I mean, our whole show for the first month and a half was just trying to get as many Lakers and 5 jokes out as we could, as when we started this podcast. Because that was just a funny meme, and I like you just said, First Take, all that had a lot to say. He was the reason I tuned in to any episode with him and Skip towards the end, especially. But yeah, definitely a fall off from what happened for sure.
I know Toph doesn't agree, so let's hear it.
I don't, but let me try to break it down little by little that I can in there.
I'm so curious to hear you defend this after including Skip Bayless on yours. That's what I'm super excited to see, because Skip had a career that he can wipe both sides of his ass with. You know what I mean? Like,
well, so did Shannon. So did Shannon. I mean, playing career. If you take it in the playing career, he could wipe both sides of his ass with that.
Just commentating. But I'm sorry, Toph. I don't want to keep cutting you off.
No. You good. You good. I do that to all y'all anyway, so it's only fair. Okay. Well, first, I want to say I don't have anything wrong with what Ocho did, especially when it comes to kids. You know, there's always comes a time and place when it comes to trolling and joking, because this is the first time he's belittled them on live on the show in there. You probably remember the one where he was late. I think he was like out to dinner or something. So I think it was around that one. So it's not the first time that they've kind of had this interaction literally live on the show.
Yeah.
And we just talked about in the pre-show about Kenyon Martin and what he just did, live on the
Mm-hmm.
show. So I'm definitely not, with Ocho on that side in there. You definitely don't talk about a man's, I wasn't trying to talk about his kids specifically, but when you put that out there on the live, what do you think he's gonna do? Because like I said, Ocho, I feel like everybody here loves Ocho. He may not always have the best takes in there, but he's entertaining. And you could tell when Ocho's mad, you know, because when he gets, passionate, he starts talking, in this kind of tone. You could tell that was something that, he even said, I do not play. When it comes to my kids, I'm dropping everything. And as
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no kids,
As you
but
should,
I'm
as
an
a fucking
uncle.
man.
Yes, yes, yep. Like I said, someone, Shannon, who has kids, you would think that, you should know there's a time to joke, a time to place in there. So like I said, I definitely don't agree with kind of mixing that in there. It's a live show. You guys are probably at this point, you probably have reached 2 million people, subscribers, which is an amazing record to have in a short amount of time in there. But you got to think, if you got all those people in there, I would want to subject my community to that. I know they kind of joke when he had his little, situation with the OnlyFans girl. They was on his head. And like I said, he took it like a G, allegedly. Whatever happened, since it never went to trial, you know, there's no charge for it in this, so you can't say that he did or didn't. But when you settle for it, it is what it is. Um, I can't see the fall off just because, well, one, ESPN is a fall off. So if you want to say him getting knocked off for ESPN, it is what it is. When you're with the ESPN, that is Disney. If you have something going on there, just from like a branding standpoint, it looks bad, especially with Disney, and they don't mess with anything like that. They've sent up a lot of people. They've got away with it. Um, RG3 talked about him. He's off ESPN. So ESPN has a very short leash when it comes to like, real life things in there. We've seen it done before. I personally think Shannon Sharpe was bigger than ESPN. Stephen A. Smith wanted him on the show. And Stephen A. Smith, whatever he wants, he gets in there. When it comes to a point in time when even his pull can't save you in there. As far as sponsorships, yes, Rose the big one. It might be kind of controversial with that thing going on in there. A lot of people have Rose Sparks in there.
I'm not mad
say,
at
I
it.
will
I'm
say,
not mad
yeah,
at
I know
I'm
what
not
you're
mad at
saying.
Bro. Yeah, yeah.
But like I said, for a man that has probably one of the biggest platforms other than the Kelsey brothers in there, there's not some bigger podcast than there's in there. Even everything that's got going on there, my biggest thing is I think that was classless in there, which we all agree with that point in there. But I can't say someone's fallen off when you have the respect from your individuals. Like I said, the Shay Shay Media is a wide brand, has other kind of shows into it as well too. And there's not too many people who could go on his podcast and be full transparent as they can, just because of how he can conduct the interview in there. They kind of give, there's no judgment. People kind of feel free to kind of talk about whatever on that show. So, like I said, in terms of a fall off, I don't see it. But like I said, I'm definitely not gonna, say he's done no kind of wrongdoing in there, especially with Ocho. But like I said, there's some things that, yeah, go ahead.
My only 2 points to that perspective that would be the fact of, yes, we all agree that the shit was classless with the Ocho thing recently, but it's like, bro, we're like every it's like your quarterly earnings report at a business. Like every fucking 3 to 4 months is a new Shannon was just did something to Ocho that was like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember watching like an episode like a few months ago, and all the chat was just saying was, motherfucker, can you let Ocho finish a sentence? Because Shannon would just bulldoze him.
I say that all the time.
Here's how I would describe the fall off. Ready? This is in my opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong. This is the trajectory for me. Shannon the player, Shannon at CBS, Shannon at Fox Sports. Huge, literally remixing. Miles in the Yak. Leaves there with everyone on his side that Skip fucked him over. Shannon is the biggest name in sports media. Goes to the worldwide leader. Is probably bigger than Stephen A. Smith. Shannon is still on First Take while doing Club Shay Shay. Yep. Cat Williams interview. Tell me that anything after this point here has been higher. That's the peak.
The only pushback I would say about that is because he even said it as well too. He had a really good point. We'll take Michael Jackson. When he had Thriller, there's nothing else you could do past that. So, like I said, that was what Shannon said it himself. Said the Cat Williams interview, that was his Thriller. You can't surpass that in there. The only thing that might have surpassed that, if he was able to get LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and the Kobe Bryant all in the same room doing it like a podcast. There's a certain realm in there where, like, once you reach that, what else can you do to pass that part in there? So from that standpoint, I totally get it. But like I said, I don't know what else he could have done because that Cat Williams thing broke the internet.
I just think that he's not as relevant anymore. Like, I know that you've been off the podcast for a few months. I know that you will be officially back next month, which we're excited for. But I mean, we went from like Kyle said, the podcast started, late entry starts, a year and a few months ago. We're out here, Lakers are 5.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we've talked about Shannon since he settled his lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't think of a single. Sure. We're talking about him now for another situation of him disrespecting Ocho.
Yeah,
like I just can't think of the last time that he's been culturally relevant. Not that he isn't still doing Club Shay Shay. Not that he's still not doing Nightcap. Not that the platform that he's built for himself isn't still a mogul, or not still an empire. I meant to say that he's not a mogul. That he's not at this empire. But I don't think that he's as culturally relevant or as universally loved by far.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that point in there. I think when it comes down to, let's look at the whole, frame in general. There's a million other podcasts, YouTubers, or someone who consumes probably 90% of all my news is YouTube, sports, and like streamer based in there. It comes a point where for you as an individual, it phases out. Where like, let's look like XQC, the Aiden Ross of the worlds. They're as big as they are, but I don't watch them at all for me because like in my cultural lane, that's not for me. But I'm not taking anything, against them in it. That's for a certain demographic of people, just not for me. But the man still has, Mr. Beast. You could say when you talk about controversy, he's up there. He's still, no matter what. There's some people that are uncancelable in there. I don't watch Mr. Beast at all, but that's just me. He got his own culture. So I'd say probably for you, which is totally fine. Where the point you are in your life, you're like, he was my inspiration for, like entry. At this point and now, I'm not really rocking with it. I've kind of moved on, which I think is totally fine. Like I said, everybody has their own kind of lane in it. And I think it's totally fine. That's kind of like, the beauty of it. You can watch who you want. We can still have this debate. I feel no different about it. You have your own take. And I'm completely fine with that.
Let's give Kyle the last word here.
I should have had a Lakers in 5 joke ready for that. If I would have known that was coming, I would have totally been prepping one. No, yeah, I think y'all make some very valid points about both the talking heads you guys mentioned. Honestly, Skip has definitely, from a year ago and all the controversy that happened with him potentially trying to pay $1 million to was it Joy Taylor?
No, it was his not like the artist, but like his like stylist or whatever.
That's right. It was his stylist, and Joy Taylor was the one with the Acho rumors, and but that all happened in like a lump sum area, and was like, and Shannon, like they all kind of like got like lost their deals at once. It was almost like the what'd you say?
Dope. You said it was a Fox Diddy party.
I mean,
all three of those niggas got ejected into the sun, dog. Skip, Joy Taylor, and fucking Shannon. This motherfuckers, bro.
I know. And then there's Acho still doing a shitty show with LaShawn McCoy every week, but whatever. I don't know. I think it sucks that this stuff happens. Who knows what's true? We're never gonna know. I think every person has to trust what they can gauge out of the person they're listening to's character based on what they're hearing, what they're getting out of the show. Like, I mean, I've been a fan of like shows that have had people that have been canceled, like comedians that have been canceled for jokes and things like that. And sometimes I stay a fan, sometimes I fall off. You know, it's kind of like you guys said, we have the beauty to watch whatever the hell we decide to watch. And for some of us, it's still going to be every now and again. For me, podcasts, it's guest dependent a lot of the times for me. Like if I like who you're going to have on and I think you're good at interviewing, like I'm going to give you an hour of my time because I think this is, whatever. Barring, any insane stuff that like Chris D'Elia has a podcast that gets like 11,000 views per week. And like nobody wants to listen to the guy that's texted every 17-year-old in LA as a 37-year-old married man, at this point. And he's been basically, he's paid off girls multiple times at this point to where it's like if we're still seeing these issues keep coming up with Unc, okay, like then there's merit to this. Like Unc might be, a not nice lover. But yeah, I mean, people make mistakes. People also try to get money. It's so hard to just tell what's true. So we all got to, pick our moral compasses and keep following them.
I think that was well said. Real quick, ever since I opened my fucking mouth, Kevin Durant is now gone from 2 points to 15 points, and
I fucking knew it.
And the Rockets are winning by 4 points.
I knew it. The boogeyman is back. Let's go.
Sick.
That's what's wrong with you Lakers fans.
I should have just shut the fuck up.
You should pick somebody else, bro.
All right, let's do we've got left a little quick dive into March Madness. We're gonna talk about Waddle, and then we're gonna do our all the disrespect and our questions of the week. I think Kyle and I have not fully finished our brackets yet, so we'll give you as much as we do have at this moment. Thoughts on March Madness. I do want to start off by announcing we agreed to this before the podcast. I think we did the same thing last year. We're going to keep the tradition going. The three of us are we've got a much larger tournament going with, I think probably 10 or 15 people in it, somewhere around there. But the three of us, however the rankings wind up finishing, the loser of the three of us, does not matter if we're last in the actual thing, but out of the three of us, the loser is going to take a shot of hot sauce on the podcast once we know who the loser is. It'll be on a Wednesday live episode, but one of us is going to be doing a full shot of hot sauce. So stay tuned if you want to figure out what that is. I'll go first with my March Madness. I'll toss it to Kyle, and then Tofi will kind of anchor us out here. For me, I've got Michigan taking it all, which is a combination of both being understanding that they've had a very good season so far. They've got a great team, and also being a U of M fan. It's the perfect combination of heart and brain. I'm thinking that we got a real shot here. I know there's some other real big dogs out here, but that's where I'm at. I am still scarred because every time I get behind Michigan, something tragic happens, like Gonzaga a few years ago. But yeah, also Sweet 16, and I have not finished filling my bracket out, but something that stood out to me as far as matchups go, I am so excited to see the Sweet 16 for these two matchups specifically at right now, as far as I fill my bracket out. But Duke with Cameron Boozer versus Rick Pitino St. John's, that's probably going to be great. And you're going to get Michigan State versus UConn. Those to me are the ones that I've got circled. And then I wound up picking chalk, but I'm looking here at a potential upset of TCU 9 taking out Ohio State. I've got Ohio State winning in this bracket. I'm gonna do two, one of each, but that's one upset that I'm looking into as of right now. I think that once we get our brackets finished, we'll go ahead and post those on socials too, of like our final fours and our champs. But I know we're not all finished with those yet. But as for standout things for me right now, that's what I got. And then last thing that I will say is that the tournament starts tomorrow. So if brackets are not finished, make sure y'all get those done tonight.
Hell yeah. I'm with you. I have Michigan winning it all. I actually did once I got to the Sweet 16. I knew exactly where I wanted to go with it. Um, so yeah, I think a team to look out for in this to get to the Sweet 16, I think is Wisconsin. I they've played Michigan tough multiple times. They've played a lot of really good teams tough, and they have kind of a deep team of decent players, and every player kind of knows their role. Which, if we all know, when it comes down to March Madness, that could be a recipe for a giant killer. And they've got one player on their team that is just money from three, one of their guards, similar to Purdue's white guard. Like it feels like every year there's a couple white guards that somebody just doesn't want to guard, and he just ends up with like 18 points, and he's 5 for 6 from 3-point, and and they win the game and upset somebody who's a 1 or 2 seed. But I do think Arizona. I have Wisconsin, Arizona in the Sweet 16. I do think Arizona is going to squeak that out, then have a tough game against Purdue and win that to eventually lose to Michigan. Um, yeah, I got Michigan and Duke in the finals, a rematch of about a month ago. They played each other, and we don't get to play Duke often. I'm really glad we got to get battle tested by them in the regular season. And this to me just shows like we lost, but we didn't. We kind of hung in there, and we had a really bad game. We had like a really bad middle 20 minutes of the game, and that just kind of killed us. And so, yeah, I think that we are going to be a lot more prepared when it comes to the finals of March Madness for them. And we're like, our team's just going to be so much more battle tested. I haven't believed in a team this much since, I mean, I didn't even believe in that team with the Jordan Poole 3-pointer. It had to be like the Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway,
Oh
those years
man,
that I
Trey Burke.
really, yeah, that was the last time I really believed in a Michigan team this much.
lost to
Shout
Arizona,
out
was it right?
Lindenberg. Was no, they lost to Louisville. That was Rick
Ah,
Pitino actually.
yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah, we lost by 6, but it wasn't like we made a insane comeback in the last 2 minutes. We were down by like 12 with like 3.5 minutes to go. We were cooked.
That run that you're talking about was when I first got into college basketball.
Oh, really? That was an electric year to do it too. I mean, I see
That's
why.
what got me in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But yeah, those are kind of my marquee things. I think Duke's gonna finally do it. Cam Boozer is a dog. Their team is deep. I also not making a Michigan homer pick for the first time in my life. I have UCLA beating Michigan and beating UConn and Michigan State. That's my kind of Cinderella team. But then they're gonna lose to Duke.
Okay. Sophie Cunningham's Bay, bring us home.
Yeah, I got Sophie Cunningham taking it all the way in the tournament this year. Everybody else is a wash. Now, let me be for real. Probably not the most surprising pick in the world, but I'm gonna take Duke number one. That's what I got winning it all. Especially when it comes to March Madness, they call it Madness for a reason. There's always going to be an upset in there. There's usually a 116. That always happens. I know last year we didn't get too many in there.
Yeah,
But
the Final Four was all ones.
yeah, so like I said, that's something that rarely ever happens. I don't want to say you want to throw the seedings out the window, but when it comes to March Madness, kind of like what people always say, reason why people kind of like the NFL, March Madness is just one and done. You got to be better just that day. It's not a series. Anything can happen. We've seen crazy shots, half court heaves, all kind of stuff in there. But Duke just has the best player in the country, Mr. Cameron Boozer. I doubt this man is 6'9". You know how they always say, add you about 2 inches on you, Pauls. So he's probably about that 6, and that other number that people love so much. 250 pounds. This man is a grown man playing a young man's game. He also leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists. It's also kind of crazy. Coming from somebody as tall as he is, but people always said his dad at this point in time head and shoulders better than what he was at his age. And Duke, historically, he's have like a bunch of 5 stars, a lot of freshmen. Lately, they've been getting more of a older team with more experience. Traditionally, March Madness is ran by the guards. Guard play is king in the tournament. And with the experience they have at guard, you got the Boozer brothers and just experience they got on it. I like Duke personally. Also, I feel like the East isn't nearly as scary as some of the other sides in there. Other than UConn, you got Michigan State, you got Kansas and Darren Peterson, St. John. You also got to watch out for them. I just like the East side personally. I think they could. I don't want to say easy make it through, their side of the bracket, but I think if they handle business, they should be able to do that one as is. Arizona, they got a tough one. I got Arizona in there, Wisconsin, Arkansas with Darius Acuff. That dude is the real deal. I think you really got to watch out for him. They've also probably the hottest team in the tournament right now. They just won the SEC tournament. Darius, like I said, Darius Acuff. Remember that name when the draft time comes around. You better hope your team is in position to draft that guy because that dude is the real deal. Gonzaga, Purdue, Texas. We almost lost the other day. No surprise there. Texas always finds some way to mess something up in there. But NC State, they had a hell of a last 2 minutes in there. It's just a tough division there. Down a little bit further in there, Florida. I do like Houston. They had a hell of a battle last year. Houston, those guys grit and grind. They play tough. Illinois, North Carolina. I know they got Caleb Wilson there. Hopefully he can ball out. Do what he's got to do in there. I hate to be that person, but I can see Michigan losing, especially to Iowa State if they do match up in there. I think that one could be a little bit scary there. I know a lot of people
Iowa State is
are
good.
Saying if they match
a customer
up
today at work tell me that he has Iowa doing the whole thing.
Iowa State.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, like I said, I think this is all the ones I think are pretty strong, but there's some definitely good 2s, 3s, 4s where, like I said, you get the right matchup in there. Like I said, these are one and done games. There ain't no series. You got to come to ball because the long guys of the world, they ain't got nothing to lose. They think about house money. They ain't even supposed to be here. A lot of these boys are not playing the NBA, so this is literally, some of their last basketball they play in their life. So they gonna ball. They're like that to the front lines in World War III. So they gonna come out there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's funny. You're on the exact same page as Starley. He said, I love March Madness because just like the NFL, you have people that are committing their lives to the sport, and then you have like a dentist who likes basketball.
So
he also said whoever does that hot sauce shot needs to have the Tums right nearby.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Tums would neutralize hot sauce. I never thought about that.
If it is, I'm gonna have some right here. If I get it, boy, there's gonna be one heck of a live show.
I know that Uncle the podcast got some Tums nearby anyways. You probably got them sitting there right on the desk as we speak.
The only thing I got next to me some Flonase right here. That's about it.
Hey,
Hell
I
yeah.
got me too, bro. Flonase is a life. It's a lifesaver.
This time of
dog.
year too.
I am a Flonase supporter, user. All
Flonase, hit us up.
Flonase, we will sponsor us. Flonase.
WNBA and Flonase, come on.
Oh man. Okay. Last sports topic of the night before we get into all due disrespect. Jaylen Waddle got traded from the Dolphins, to the Broncos. I'm just curious, really quickly. I'm gonna ask all these questions. I'm gonna let you guys Toph go, then Kyle, and then I'll kind of wrap it up. But I'm curious, you think what his impact is gonna be? Is that mean Cortland Sutton is gonna be gone? Are we setting Malik Willis up for failure? And if we traded everybody else away from the Dolphins, why is Achane still there?
Yeah. Let me start with the Dolphin side of things. I don't really got too much to say, but I think the biggest thing is the reports are really flooding out right now. How many teams have expressed interest in Devon Achane, and why the Dolphins are so hell bent on saying this man's untouchable, like what I do in my fantasy football teams. But just like you get rid of all those guys, and probably the one that has the most value. I know it's a running back, but it's like you say this guy's completely untouchable, which I think is crazy. Because I think you could have got, a really good haul if you're going to get rid of all these veteran players. Why not? Because you still got, Ali Gordon there, which I'm not saying Ali Gordon is A chain in there, but we see how, fast running backs kind of just, they start out really high. And then sometimes it could be a complete drop off. And I'm not wishing that on A chain. I know I just traded him away as well, too. So I wouldn't be too mad if he didn't, be that guy anymore. But I just feel like if you're going basically full rebuild, clear out the whole shelves, spring cleaning, everybody gone. Get all the most draft picks you could get, especially stock up for this year. This year's gonna be the meat and potatoes. You can get some good, depth on your roster next year. That's when the Louis bags come out, the real deal talent. So I think it's just kind of weird that they just said, oh, everybody else is available except for H-Chain. We got this boy locked up down in the cage. He ain't going nowhere. This cheetah is here to stay.
And to your point with that too, Jalen Phillips gone, both receivers gone. Tua for that matter gone. Everyone with the longest shelf lives are gone, but you kept the one position that has the shortest shelf life in running back.
Yeah, that's like I said. I know they got all new personnel, new coach, all that stuff in there. Because as I look right now, you got Malik Washington. He's listed as the starter, wide receiver 1. You got Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, Theo Weiss Jr., AJ Henning. No more Darren 1K Waller. You got Greg Julich there. But yeah, like I said, in terms of weapons for Malik Willis, it's looking real bare out there. I don't even want to put, a projection on his stats, but it ain't gonna be good. And there's not enough players in this draft to completely revamp this team. H ain't going to rush for 2,000. He might got a catch for 2,000 as well too. He gonna have to have the greatest fantasy season in history. Now for the Broncos, personally, I love it. This is a team, especially with what they did last year. You could arguably say they should have been in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Knicks going down. The Holmes, he's still coming off his injury. We don't know how he's gonna look coming off that. So in terms of just commanding your division, there's probably still got to be the favorites. You got the Chargers in there, but this team should be head and shoulders above. As of right now, Cortland Sutton is listed as their 1. Dylan Waddle is the 2. Troy Franklin's the 3. Marvin Mims is the 4. Pat Bryant is the 5. Like I said, I think Cortland Sutton is still on the team, maybe to at least about around trade deadline. And then, you might try to, get rid of him after Wall's going to get some more established. I think Pat Bryant is the guy that they really do like a lot. The guy is 6'5". He can play. So if he takes that next step up, I definitely could see him taking Cortland Sutton's spot. But at least think for right now, you got to see what you got. I personally love Cortland Sutton. I just think he gets underused there. Like I said, if he was to get traded, I do think you could get a nice compensation for him. You just re-signed J.K. Dobbins. R.J. Harvey is still there. So on paper, which I know we always say, you don't win championships on paper, but that offense looks really formidable. Now you got Jaylen Waddle, who can really stretch the field. He could, he could, of course, run the jet screens. He could run the whole route tree. He's not just, deep post or street kind of guy. Waddle, he can really play. So I love it for the Broncos personally. It's definitely one I did not see coming. And the fact you got that much compensation for him when we just saw DJ Moore, he didn't even go for a 1. You got a lot for Waddle. So yes, if I'm the Dolphins, from that standpoint, I'm definitely doing it because I'm not competing anyway. So like I said, recoup as much draft capital as you can and start your rebuild.
It's funny that you mentioned DJ Moore because I think that Cortland Sutton should be a Buffalo Bill.
I'd like that. Yeah, hell, I'd like almost about any wide receiver going to Buffalo at this standpoint.
Yeah,
absolutely. Anybody working with him. Yeah, I think Toph said most of it. This is I'm gonna touch mostly on because Toph said basically everything else I wanted to say about the trade. I'm gonna talk mostly about what this does to me with Malik Willis because I still have him in my dynasty. Anybody who follows the podcast knows. And I thought I got saved. And just when I thought I got saved, and he had a better receiver, in my opinion, than he ever had when he was starting in Green Bay. I was just had the rug pulled right from under me. And now Jaylen Waddle's a freaking Bronco. The only other thing I want to say about this is Spencer freaking double dose Wells. Oh, cut that.
Man just doxed me on a
Just
live.
doxed the shit out of you. We'll mute that later in editing. No. All right. I mean, all right. Anyway,
Keep talking, Kyle Teller.
Might as well. Send it. We might as well do it to each other. Pause. Fuck. Anyway.
Okay, time out.
That's my time, everybody. I am out.
Late entry.
We don't need any. I'll do disrespect. That was it. We out.
Man.
Spencer was scoffing at the idea of trading for Jaylen Waddle earlier this year. And the second he's a Bronco, he's sending Tony 5-1 trades of all people that Spencer wants to drop so that he can draft.
Hey, you gotta test the market out, man.
He texts me. He's like, "What is he doing? What does he even think? He threw in like Shador and Jaylen Noel and like just a bunch of shit. And then he threw in a second offer and he's like, oh, but I'll add in Jason Myers. What do you think of that?
Hey, he loves to throw on Jason Myers. He did the same thing to me.
I know. I remember.
Hey, let's see what he does. Kickers, you can fall off real quick. You look good one year, you fall off the next. So I'm good with Mike. I'll get a new kicker every year.
He's trying so hard to trade him high. He's trying so hard.
Look, all I want to.
I respect the gangster though.
All I want to say about this trade, after Kyle just dragged me through the street. If I was Malik Willis, I would be trying to get out of this deal so badly. When you are, look, Malik Willis is trying to be the next Sam Darnold. You look like an absolute bust, and then you wind up, showing out very well as a backup. And now it's like, all right, well, I want to go somewhere and prove that I could be a starter. And then they take every weapon on the entire team away from you. I don't understand this from the Dolphins in the perspective of if you just wanted to do just absolute garbage and stock on picks, why take the dead money on Tua? Why not just keep him for one more year and then continue to tank? It's funny, you were tanking for Tua, now it's going to be tanking with Tua. But I don't understand why the Malik Willis move doesn't make any sense unless the only thing I can think of is if it's like an Aaron Glenn situation where it's, hey, we know you're going to be complete butt cheeks for an entire year, and we're willing to let that happen. Go out here and get some chemistry with these new rookies we're going to draft. So only thing I can think of. Aside from that, that makes no sense why they would get another quarterback.
Do you know
when
if
you could just not? Go ahead.
Is there an out after the first year in his contract?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared to answer that question.
But I know the only thing.
I know they're eating money by getting rid of Tua.
They're eating so much money getting rid of Tua, and you're not trying to win clearly. So why? That's what I don't get. That's all I don't understand about it.
I think you got to sell tickets. You got to sell tickets. You got to have
nobody buying the ticket.
New beginnings. Nobody's buying a ticket to see Tua as the starter of the Dolphins.
No one's buying to watch Malik Willis throw to.
You'd be surprised, bro. You're not listening to Miami local radio, sitting there talking about how this is the sneaky best move at QB they could have made, and then the fans are buying in.
One of the head coach is one of the defensive coaches from Green Bay, so at least there's some familiarity there. I know that people are saying too it would make a lot of sense for the Dolphins to try to trade for either Dontavian Wicks or Jaden Reed. Get somebody that he's familiar with, bring him over there, add something to that. Aside from that, everything that they're doing is puzzling to me. That's about all I got for.
They're trying to get that first pick for Arch.
I will say too, it would also not surprise me to see Cortland Sutton as a Tennessee Titan. That's the other thought that I had. Yeah,
I'd love to see him with the young.
What about Houston Texans?
Bro, they got too much over there. You got a Tank Dell coming off an injury. You got Noel. You got
could even walk anymore.
Jaden Higgins.
Football.
But Jaden Higgins is supposed to be good. And then you got him already with Nico.
I mean, I'd rather have more established wide receivers than trying to, develop one in there.
I
So I
don't
mean,
disagree.
it, brother, my guy needs all help he can get down there in Houston. So
I don't disagree.
take whatever
Hey,
you could get.
CJ Stroud about to be on probably his last year there if it doesn't go well.
He about to be on life alert this year.
Let's hit the chat real quick before we hit. I'll do disrespect. Starley said, "Love Sutton to the Bills. All star players go to Buffalo, so Joshy can bring home a ring to the new baby." He said he heard my last name and he'll never forget it. Always remember it. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you. And then I want just Toph to answer this question just in the interest of time, and then we're gonna go to all the disrespect. He asked, "Isn't this Mahomes' second major injury? Wonder how this will affect his improvisation and randomness in the pocket." I think everyone has that question.
I mean, in terms of his injuries, he didn't really have anything too crazy in college. You remember he had the dislocated knee. He did like the QB sneak, and he's not allowed to do that one anymore. He had like the really bad, ankle. I think he was versing Jacksonville with the playoffs. I think it was like the wild card, the divisional round. And then, but in terms of a knee, that's always something. But like an ACL, he's definitely had some knee injuries in there. So, and he's not getting any younger. I think that's also the reason why they picked up K Dub, because they don't really want this man running around as much anymore, trying to take off the pressure. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure the Mahomes that we've seen running around, trying to draw these late hits, going out of bounds late. I think we're kind of, seeing an end to those days in there. So things can be more, I don't want to quite say a pocket passer, but I think the improvisation, they kind of want to, keep that bare minimum or sprinkle just a little bit here and there. But I think we'll probably see more of a pure pocket pass style from Mahomes for at least a little while.
Yeah. All right. I'll do disrespect. Kyle, I'm gonna let you go first, but while you're pulling yours up, because I know you have to, I'll do disrespect to Kyle for fucking doxing me. Yeah, go tell him where I live and everything too.
Hey, all the disrespect for you doubling down and doing it back, but that's all right. We
Social security number, all
double dose of dox.
Double dose dox. It's okay. This won't get dug up until like 4 years from now when we're actually getting some motion. And then they'll be like, people will be coming back to look at the OG episodes and they'll be like, oh shit, they said their last names.
By that time we'll be famous.
Yeah, then people will know already. It won't matter. All right. So bringing it back to sports a little bit. Spencer's favorite sport. We're going to talk about a little golf here. I haven't done one in a while. I know Spencer loves it when I do these. I'm going to do an all due respect tonight. My all due respect tonight is to Sudarshan Yelamarahu. Buddy is an Indian American golfer who came overseas on some sort of a program, basically, because he was a good golfer overseas and got a little bit of recognition, never really surmounted to anything. Made about a total of about like $700,000 through like 4 years in a PGA career, which is good money. But you're in the PGA, you're required, like, all transport is on you. So any PJ you have to take anywhere, or any commercial flight you have to take anywhere is on you. You pay for it, right? So there's a lot that goes into the travel and all that. So as far as like golf money goes, like his riches weren't that high. Just about a week and a half ago, Sudarshan took 5th at the Players Championship, which is like a major it's like one of the biggest tournaments of the year that isn't a major tournament, that isn't the Masters or the British Open or the US Open, and took 5th place in this, made $985,000 in 4 days. And when he was interviewed asking, like, what do you credit most to, like, all of this? He's like, I got to be honest with you guys. I've never taken a lesson in my life. I've never taken a golf lesson in my life. He's like, I just watch YouTube videos of Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and Phil Mickelson, and I just copy what they do. That's what I've been doing since I was 12. That's what I will always keep doing. And I just have to say, all due respect to this man, being literally like one of us, all you can do is basically just watch YouTube videos, and you get out there and you place top 5 amongst the best of the best in the world in a golf tournament, and one of the biggest golf tournaments of the year. So shout out to the Sudarshan.
This is how right here sports heals racism. This man just said a man named Sudarshan is one of us. All due respect. All due respect. Coach, what you got for us?
Man, yeah, I changed mine quite a bit here. At first it was gonna be just one group. Now we got multiple. All due disrespect to USA. First, we just had the American baseball team fumble right there in the finals.
Oof, yeah.
You know, you know, us Americans, when it comes to our sports, doesn't matter what it is, we always want to be, you know, the best. So for them boys to go out there, shout out to Venezuela, you know, no disrespect. But when it comes to America, we're trying to win everything. Complete domination. In the second group, they've been a lot of talk about our NFL players when it comes to flag football. I don't know if you guys know, but we got a game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, our reigning like national American team are going up against 2, you know, made up NFL teams. We got Tom Brady is getting back into the fold. We got him, Jalen Hurts on one team, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow on the other team. As far as players, we got Saquon playing, Alvin Kamara, Ashton Genty, Devontae Adams, Gronkowski, Odell, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Samuel, Myles Garrett, Derwin James, Luke Kuechly, shout out Kuechly, Tyrann Mathieu, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. We also got some celebrities, Logan Paul, Terrence Bud Crawford, and ISO Speed. Now hold on. ISO Speed, that boy can run. Anything
He'll play better than Logan. He'll play better than Logan.
The best of the three. Then what the fuck is a boxer doing out there?
Well, I'm pretty sure Bud's retired, so he's just out there.
I know he's retired, but what the fuck?
Hey,
I'm feeling like, hey, you remember that video of Kanye talking about Lady Gaga working for fucking the camera place? He said, I love some of Gaga's music. What the fuck does she know about photography?
Listen, if Bud's allowed to jam at the line of scrimmage, yeah, they ain't getting off. They ain't getting off that line. They're gonna get some mean hands put on them. Then we got Kevin Hart and Drewski as our hosts. Who knows what that's gonna look in there? But
escape those
I say literally, especially Drewski. I say all this to say, if we come out there and get smacked, NFL, y'all talked a whole lot of stuff, disrespect, to our, actual flag football team. 2028 is right around the corner. So I really hope that these boys come out there and dominate, our actual USA, men's team. No disrespect to them, but we're talking about NFL players. It is 5-on-5, a 50 by 25 yard field, 2 15-minute halves, running clock. It's like I said, it's a pretty condensed field in there. It's like I said, it's not, traditional NFL style field, but these guys go to war every Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I feel like every day of the week they play a game now. So they better come out there and show me something. Because if they get waxed, all due disrespect for every other, show.
If Logan Paul does somebody, we talking greasy about you on Sunday, just so you know.
Bro, if he burns anyone, I'm gonna be so disappointed. That's like the main reason I'm watching this.
Now,
watching Logan Paul.
Shit, right? Yeah.
I gotta see Odell. See what he still got in the tank.
Man, yeah. Hey,
Luke
that's just because you want him to be a Giant next year.
I just want to see him play again. I don't care who he on. But on the Giants, it would be nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll do disrespect. I had 3 goals on St. Patrick's Day Saturday, dog. I needed some green beer. I needed an Irish car bomb, and I needed some Guinness. And I wanted to try to split the G on the Guinness, dog. Tell me why. I understand it's a bar crawl, dog, but Guinness in plastic cups. What are we doing here? You can't split the G on a plastic cup, and it tastes kind of terrible in a plastic cup. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm a big Guinness fan. Love Guinness. I specifically do not drink it out of a can. I drink it only out of tap, and every bar has its own Guinness glasses. There's a Guinness on them. You know why? Because it's meant to be drank out of a glass. And you hand me some Guinness in a plastic cup. I was very disappointed.
That is sacrilegious on St. Patrick's weekend. That's messed up.
You gonna have give us everything else in a plastic cup. Please just do a few extra dishes for this. for the Guinness drinkers.
My ancient Irish ancestors just got a little less racist because you said that. They turned a little over in their grave hearing that happened, and they were like, the blasphemy.
Hey, Starley said we brought it way back. What if the cat's tooth fell out? We make it gold and then put it back in the cat's mouth. Give the cat some grills.
How long was he sitting on that one?
All right.
I bet you he just brought that topic up to his wife, and she was like, wait, I see a way this could work.
Oh, my goodness. All right. We are running real late on time. Let's hit these two questions and get out of here.
All right. So, shit. I don't know which one I want to start with. All right. If your life had a narrator, what would they roast you most for? I can go first because I know this is a tough one to it takes you a second to think about it. For me, so I'll ask it one more time just so everybody can hear it in the back. If your life had a narrator, what would they roast you most for? For me, it would be, man, what did this motherfucker forget today? He's pulling back in the driveway again. What's it going to be? Oh, it's his lunch this time. All right. See you later, motherfucker. That was the quickest thing I could think of. I'm trying not to get too harsh on myself. Y'all probably have way harder shit. I don't know. What's this string bean doing on this podcast?
Mine would,
all right.
Mine would probably be more of a nature documentary. You'd have the Liev Schreiber who does
right.
He'd be sitting there.
What's he gonna do today?
He'd be looking at the different ways that I make myself late with plenty of time.
Yo.
And today Spencer woke up 2 hours before work, took Bella out, took a shower, was ready to go, and still wound up making it 3 minutes late to work. What did he do? How did he do it? Let's find out. That's
what a dumbass.
Yeah, that's what they'd be cooking me for.
Let me get Samuel L. Jackson. Every time I load up FanDuel and try to cook it with 26 legs.
Really thinks he's gonna hit?
Easy. So
He's the third time this week. Are you
Look at this motherfucker? He hitting you. They're gonna send him to your house to get you to stop betting when it goes too far. Fucking Pulp Fiction. Who's
oh man?
Say who a motherfucking gun. Be sitting here. Say bet a motherfucking gun, Toe.
Oh man.
That's good. Last question of the week. What's something you used to think that's for old people, but now you understand it?
Hating on the new generation's music. Shout out Black Boy Max.
Crazy.
That's kind of a good one. You're just even hating on the younger generation in general. You think it's you hit the minor versions when you're in fifth grade, you're like, man, fourth graders suck. When you're in sixth grade, you're like, man, fifth graders suck. And it all goes all the way through school. And then you hit adulthood and you're like, man, these kids' music sucks.
Yep.
So yeah, I hear you. Mine is A Weekend In. My grandparents I used to be like, Grandma, Grandpa, what y'all doing this weekend? And my grandma would be like, oh, we've been real busy the last couple weeks. We're just gonna take a weekend in, unwind, relax. And I was like, Grandma, but there's so many parties that could be going on. You could be going to your friend's house having a bonfire. You could be, and this is where I said you'll learn, Spencer. It ain't always eventually you're gonna be like, man, I don't want to do shit for 3 weeks. I need 3 weekends in just to recharge.
Hey, look, I be feeling it sometimes. I'm trying to run from it. That's the final destination for me. I'm trying to run from that shit as long as I can.
I ain't trying to accept it.
Hey, look, like you might catch me on like a, you know what I mean? Like now, if it's like Friday night and it's like 10 p.m. and my friends call me, I'm probably not leaving the house. But what I cannot ever let happen to me is, hey, what'd y'all do for St. Patrick's Day weekend? And you two old fucks sitting here like, yeah, nothing. I'm like, nope, cannot. I'm trying to outrun that as long as I can. As long as these knees work, I will be trying to run away.
Oh, good for you.
But, yeah, it is good for me. It is good for me, motherfucker.
I got a humbling one, man.
Oh God.
This was it was like when I first started playing pickleball, you know. Like I kind of like loosely know what it was. You'd always hear the joke, it's for some old people. And then like the first couple times I played, it was like with my family, a couple of my friends, cousins. I was kind of getting the hang of the game. I said, okay, this game's actually pretty nice. And then boy, I went to the YMCA my first time, and the real old heads, man, I got worked, boy. They was spiking on me.
Oh no!
I think we lost. I had 1 point. It was like 1 to like 11. We got absolutely smacked. I was like, at that moment, I said, yeah. This old dude, he was trying to teach me how to play the whole time. He was whooping my ass. So I said, man, if you got my oh man, that was the worst part.
Oh,
it was real. Yeah, I said, this mofo right here. He wasn't wrong, but I wasn't trying to hear it in the moment.
Oh, God.
Man, you play pickleball? Hey, them old heads, hey, go to the next court. Go find some more young dudes.
Good to know.
Yeah,
they ain't playing no games.
Them old folks out here crushing up a Rose Sparks, putting in a bottle of water and coming in to fuck you.
And they got nightcap in their left ear. They're like, hey, I'm horny and ready to go.
Want to show these young bucks.
Oh, man. Hey, they showed me something. I said, there's levels to this game. There was levels to this game.
Yeah, I need to get into pickleball.
It's fun. Yeah, people take it real serious, man.
We got to get out of here before we break 2 hours. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Thank y'all to everybody in the chat that is still with us.
Thanks, Starly.
Thank you, Toph, for coming in for an episode before you can officially make it back next month. Definitely stay tuned for the Toph return. And we will see you guys on, you'll see us, on Monday to see how bad we get to roast Jake Paul. That flag football thing.
Logan Paul, but same thing.
You mean Logan Paul?
Yeah, it's all those, whatever. Fuck both of them.
Whoa, what you about to say now?
Fuck both of them. Toph, hit us with the outro.
Hey, man, y'all know how I do it. If you're rocking with us, hey, man, go ahead and crush that like button, man. Hit us up on all the social medias, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Tell your mama, your daddy, all your sneaky links. Yeah, sneaky link as well too. We're gonna add that one too. And on that note, late entry. We out.